It's Shane Conto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to the Cinematic Wasteland here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. And this is our monthly show where we, three dudes, love for film, takes you through the history of cinema. And joining me as always, my co-hosts, fellow members of the crew, Luke and Adam. Thank you both so much for coming on.
Always a blast to be here.
Look forward to it every month. Nice to see you both.
This is the most fun any of you are going to have listening to this show every month. So there you go. Because we're a bunch
We'll try and make
fun,
it that way anyway.
We're a fun time for sure.
It's the roasting of Conto begins.
Yes. Poor Shane.
But we are going to be focusing on the year 1933 for this episode as we give you a little bit of film history, got a little bit of box office for you. We got the Oscars are back, and this one's about a year and a half worth of movies because they realized they needed to switch from like mid-year fiscal year to like a normal calendar year. Yep. And then our Cinematic Wasteland Award for Best Picture, and then we'll be talking about King Kong, the granddaddy of them all, of all creature feature kaiju movies. We love them. We love our schlock. Yes. That they've become, but there's still a little hope because don't we just want a giant gorilla punching stuff? That's at least what Warner Brothers and Legendary wants from us. So
I will say, yeah.
No, you guys, you got Luke. Sorry,
I was gonna say, I will say, if the team behind Godzilla -1 would be allowed to make Godzilla vs. Kong movie, I'm all on board yet again, because those movies have been disappointment after disappointment. But if the team behind that movie would be able to incorporate Kong, yes, I'm there day fucking one.
I am, don't disagree. That would be cool, but I unashamedly love these new Kong and Godzilla movies. I don't. It's a genre that I never thought I would be a fan of, but I love them. I think they're
so. What I want is one day for them to go all in and make one of these movies with no humans in it.
Yes.
It's just all monsters all the time.
No dialogue.
Humans.
No dialogue at all.
We want Kong x Godzilla v Pacific Rim.
Just like make it like Avengers of all monsters, like like Mothra, Kong, Godzilla, all the creatures, and like let them fight.
That'd be box office gold, honestly. You want to get people back to the cinema? That's the shit we would go for. Make it in IMAX as well, and we're all there, I reckon. Hey, amazing.
If Flo can win an Oscar and not have a single line of dialogue because animals are cute and we care about them because we don't want them to get flooded, we can watch a bunch of giant monsters fight each other and not have to be bogged down by dumb, boring human characters. Now, if you're going to tell me you're going to put some interesting human characters and not kill them after the first act, like in God's 2014,
the major draw card to the movie.
Bryan Cranston is in this. He's amazing. Just kidding.
Hot off Breaking Bad as well. This is
but anyway, we'll get there. But let's get started with. I need to take off my tinted aviators for my costume today to put on my reading glasses. So here we go. We got some film history for you. Silent film actor and comedian Roscoe Conkling Fatty Arbuckle, after being scandalized following a wild party in a San Francisco hotel in 1921. Side note, we did indeed talk about this during our 1921 episode, Shameless Plugs, and falsely accused of rape and manslaughter in Hollywood's first major scandal, suffered a ruined career, ostracism, and the banning of his films, and retreated into alcoholism. I'm really hoping that there's like a nice light at the end of this tunnel of this blur, but we're getting there. Although ultimately vindicated after 3 trials and enjoyed a brief comeback as a film director, alias William Goodrich, and in films for Warner's, he died penniless of a heart attack at the age of 46. So nope, there was not a light at the end of that tunnel. That just got that much more depressing.
No, the light was just the the train of wanting to hit him, and it did.
He's like, yep,
That's the thing
unfortunately
about the
passed away
yep. That's the thing about
46
the
years
lights
old.
on the at the tunnels. Sometimes it's just wait, train on the other side just waiting to hit you.
You hear that, Mr.
Mhm.
Anderson? That is inevitability.
Yes.
Hmm.
That is exactly what happened, unfortunately, for Fatty Arbuckle. The Crooked Circle, a campy detective movie, became the first feature-length film ever broadcast on television on March 10th, 1933. Although it was still playing in theaters at the time, the movie was broadcast from W6 XAO TV via the Don Lee Broadcasting System or Don Lee Network as experimental station in Los Angeles from the corner of 7th and Bixel Streets in downtown LA to the very few people who own television sets. The transmission was an 80-line resolution mechanical television picture.
I could have sworn we talked about this last episode because I just re-listened to it or not listened. I listened to it the other day because I'm catching up on all my podcasts. I thought it was the year before, but
Well,
hey,
so the
we.
movie came out in 1932,
Oh, that's
but it
why.
was still
Yes.
hanging in theaters.
Yeah.
So I guess they wanted to reinforce that, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. That's fair.
Next up we have Fleischer Studios from Max Fleischer. Cartoon short Popeye the Sailor was the first cinematic appearance of the spinach-loving Popeye character derived from E.C. Seeger's popular comic strip creation. Although the cartoon was a Betty Boop short, with Betty as a Hawaiian hula dancer from her role in Betty Boop's Bamboo Isle, Popeye, voiced by William Costello, was the main character.
I didn't know Popeye originated from Betty Boop cartoon. That's interesting.
Well,
Yeah, that rings a
his
bell to
first
me.
animated appearance was in a Betty Boop cartoon, but it came from a separate film, like
Oh, okay,
cartoon
okay.
comic strip.
Yeah, fair, fair. So it was on. What is this? A crossover episode?
Yeah, we got that crossover going.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, we don't know if Popeye is a big enough property on his own. Let's throw some Betty Boop in there and introduce
I
Popeye the
watched.
Sailor Man.
Yes, I watched that. The animated show. I don't even know what year it's from, but I watched that as a kid, and don't tell me this was not just a giant propaganda for more kids to eat spinach. Like there must
Mm.
be like a big spinach behind that show. That's just basically
The spinach lobby was really
yes.
pushing hard.
Now, I've got to ask too. Do they actually sell spinach in cans? I've never seen spinach in a can ever.
Yeah, me neither.
Not
Frozen
anymore,
spinach? Hmm.
at
Not where
Maybe
I'm
least.
back in
from.
the day.
I've only seen it in like frozen in like the little packaging and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, to be fair, we should eat less canned vegetables, seeing as, they're full of a bunch of salt and stuff like that to preserve
Yeah.
it. So,
Absolutely.
probably not the best thing, but, I think the image of him ripping open a can and chugging out of it is a little bit more interesting than unfolding paper packaging
Yeah.
and then waiting for it to defrost and then just
Or
chucking it in.
or struggling to open like a plastic bag. Just,
Yeah.
"Ugh, look how strong my
Before
muscles are. I can,
before plastic
burst
was a
this.
thing.
Yeah.
So, did
Oh
either
yeah,
of
that's
you
true.
hear the stories coming out of the Popeye movie uh set that everybody was just
Oh
on
yes,
cocaine?
the Robin Williams one.
I
Yeah.
haven't I haven't seen a movie, but I have
Yes.
heard those stories that everybody's
Yeah.
was on cocaine. Yes.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there you go. Very
I
interesting.
didn't even realize Robin Williams played Popeye until I saw it in some doco. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
why did? Because I used to love Popeye. I should have known that movie existed.
I need to watch it.
It was bad, apparently. Pretty bad.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of hard to focus when you're all high up on cocaine. Next up, Disney's wildly successful animated cartoon, The Three Little Pigs, the 36th Silly Symphony, and the seventh in Technicolor was the first Disney cartoon fully conceived on detailed storyboards. When accepting the Academy Award for Best Short Subject Cartoon for Animation in 1934, Walt Disney was the first to refer to the gold statue as an Oscar. It was the first time that the industry's pet name for the award was publicly acknowledged. The film's song Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf became a popular hit song on the radio. It was the first time a cartoon had generated a hit song and was a popular theme song to help ward off the effects of long-lasting depression.
Mm.
Like big D depression, as in like the depression.
Yeah, the big
Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
the popular animated short was the first globally successful story for Disney. Well, I'm glad I clarified big D depression because why didn't we think to just play Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf to all the depressed people in the world? Why are we
I know.
wasting all this money on pharmaceuticals? It's the pharmaceutical lobby.
Yep.
Yes,
They're
Big
like,
Pharma.
it's big pharma. Apparently, big Disney lobby was not strong enough to keep pushing Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf to fight depression.
Yes. So do I get it right that Walter Disney did not quote unquote invent that the Academy Award is Oscar? It was a Hollywood kind of like back talk, like in a
Yeah,
like but he popularized it.
he said the inside words, outside words, in public,
Hmm.
and then
So he pretty much did what he built his entire legacy and career on. He took something that was well beloved and just popularized it and made it like more beloved. Interesting.
Kind of like James Cameron in that respect.
Kinda, yeah.
well,
But
on
hey, if it ain't broke,
this whole entire blurb
Right?
is the blueprint of Disney.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Roll up, win an Oscar for best animation or other. Um, roll up and have a giant hit song from an animated movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rinse, dry, repeat for decades.
Win
So
Correct.
there
Oscars.
we go. Win
Build an
Oscars.
empire.
Which
Yeah.
have either of you seen the Three Little Pigs
Nope.
animated short?
Oh,
Have.
yeah, I would have. I
It's
don't
worth it.
ask me when, but I would have.
It is on Disney Plus. So
Yeah.
there you go. That is at least out of the vault. Okay, so Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, although minor players, made their debut and danced in the first joint movie together, RKO's Flying Down to Rio. It was a stage dancer of Fred Astaire's second film. With King Kong, the film saved RKO from bankruptcy. The couple
Mm.
appeared early on in a sensual, show-stopping dance number called the Karaoke. The dance required the dancers to touch foreheads. Scandalous.
Damn, so
Wow.
Um,
sexy.
with their clasping hands, and then execute a turn without losing forehead contact.
So
Ah,
Scandalous.
is that why they call it foreplay?
I, I know that dance. Forehead play.
Flying Down to Rio was the most memorable for its title number, with airplane wing dancing walking, uh skimpily attired chorus girls atop biplane wings,
Mm.
filmed in an airplane hangar with wind machines and a few planes hanging from the ceiling, enhanced with backdrops of Rio and Malibu Beach. The film was also notable in the film's sexy star Dolores Del Rio, who was the first major star to wear a two-piece women's bathing suit. Scandalous. Note, a
Damn.
brief scene showed a two-piece bathing suit sunsuit being modeled on a beach in Three on a Match from 1932, a year earlier. So yes, scandalous.
I'm
Mm.
really keen to watch it now. Like this seems like a hell of a movie.
I
Yeah.
think I've seen clips of
Forehead
this.
touching and midriffs. Oh my.
Oh my, indeed.
I may have seen it because I know the dance you're talking about and the whole women on the plane wings. I've seen clips of that. I know I have in whatever in montages at least.
Too bad we didn't pick this one.
And you can
Hmm.
rent it on Amazon for two
What's it?
49 pounds.
What's it called again?
Flying down to Rio.
Flying
Ah,
down to
flying
Rio.
down to. Oh,
I wonder
yeah.
if it can be viewed for free on YouTube.
What's
That's
funny
interesting.
is this has a whole bunch of scandal and stuff like that, but we watched a movie with a bunch of nudity in it.
Well, bunch is a strong word, but yeah.
Well, because the
Did
King
you
Kong's
see King
naked.
Kong wearing any clothes at all during
Yeah.
this movie?
What a slut,
Any of these
honestly.
dinosaurs? I'm
At least
pretty sure they
Paddington
were
wears
all
a
naked.
vest.
So
Yeah, Paddington keeps, Paddington is British. He keeps it classy, yeah? And a hat. Don't forget the
His
hat.
his cock's out, but his nipples are covered. So.
Covers it with a marmalade sandwich. Um,
It's a sticky
20th
wicket.
20th Century Pictures was formed in 1933 as an independent Hollywood film production company created by Joseph uh, Schenek from United Artists and Daryl F. Zanuck from Warner's. In 2 years, in 1935, it merged with the Fox Film Corporation to form 20th Century Fox, overseen by um, Schenck and Zanuck, and it would go on to continue to be an independent studio forever, right?
Yes.
Right?
So they just celebrated
Right?
90th
Uh,
anniversary. They just celebrated 90th anniversary. Fox and 20th
well,
Century Fox.
they're not 20th Century Fox anymore, so I don't think they're
I know.
celebrating any anniversaries.
Yeah.
They are part of the Disney family now.
Who
Lovely,
isn't?
wonderful 20th Century Studios. Who has a few films coming out in the next couple weeks as we're recording this. Obviously, the Bruce Springsteen
Mm-hmm.
biopic, and then
Not hearing good things.
my most anticipated film for the rest of the year, Predator: Badlands.
Oh yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Elle
Got
Fanning.
my tickets to
Tall
an
Fanning in
early
that.
screening.
Okay.
Yes, she's the main star. Besides the Predator,
Hmm.
obviously.
I don't see. I'm the no frames club, so if I'm going to watch it, then I just don't pay attention.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yep, Predators. The most important takeaway of this discussion about
Yes.
20th Century Studios. Um, Director Frank Capra's Lady for a Day became the first film from Columbia Pictures to be nominated for Best Picture. Good for
Hmm.
Columbia Pictures, which is now still a wonderful and independent studio, not owned by a Japanese tech company.
Hmm. Then no one's independent anymore. Well, is A24 even independent anymore? Maybe.
You don't
Well,
want to go down that route.
No.
well, Columbia is and TriStar both owned by Sony. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Hmm.
But there you go, Columbia, getting your first Oscar nomination for Best Picture.
If you don't want to enjoy A24 movies, just don't Google who actually owns it and funds the movies. I'll just say less.
Who does?
Okay.
Apparently, some sort of, I think, something times with Trump. Basically, like the major co-founder of who's on board has
Oh,
very big.
the Cokes.
I
Are
don't
they a
know.
Kosh?
venture capitalist?
I think something like that. So basically, it's like
It's the
he
Kosh
cannot.
brothers, right?
I don't know. Like I've just seen it like a couple of days ago. I don't remember the name, but I was like, oh, that's how they get their money.
I just
Hmm.
saw that the Trump administration's really pushing for Skydance Paramount to buy Warner Brothers so that they can have control of CNN.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and who owns that? Who would own that? The guy who had a TikTok deal, also backed by Donald. Uh, just this is not definitely conflict of any interests, but hey,
Grease in hands, everybody. Um,
yeah.
State-run
director,
media coming soon.
great. Director
Hmm.
Michael Curtiz and Warner Brothers Technicolor two-strip 79-minute horror film Mystery of the Wax Museum was the last significant feature film to be shot using the two-strip process.
Mm.
So a little bit of, you know, film history there. The drama, The Power and the Glory, scripted by Preston Sturges and starring Spencer Tracy, was about an American industrial magnate. It had a strong influence on Orson Welles' Citizen Kane.
Oh,
So The Power and the Glory walked so Citizen Kane could run.
yes.
Hmm.
There we go.
Hmm.
RKO's classic adventure action film King Kong, A Beauty and the Beast's Tale, dubbed the eighth wonder of the world, featured Scream Queen Fay Ray and astonishing stop motion special effects from animation from Willis O'Brien. It ended the iconic image of Kong atop the Empire State Building, appropriately since the film premiered in New York City in early March of 1933 at Radio City Music Hall and the Roxy Theater. It was one of the first major films to have a lifelike stop motion animated central character alongside live action. It was the first film heavily promoted and marketed on the radio. When released, it broke all previous box office records. Its massive money making success helped to save RKO Studios from bankruptcy.
Mm.
So, more on the film later, and more on its
Mm.
box office later.
And also, just to reiterate how important that was, when the main star Faye died in 2004, by the way, not
Mm.
that long ago, only 20, she was like 96, I believe. The
Mm.
Empire State Building 2 days after just like, shut the top lights in her honor. Like, that's what I read
Oh,
on IMDb. I was like, that's nice. That's nice.
lovely. Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
What did they do when
That's
Harambe got shot?
Nothing. Fucking bastards. They stayed
blowing
they
out
stayed
for
silent,
Harambe.
okay? They stayed silent, cowards, okay?
Justice for Harambe.
Yes.
Forever in our
One of
minds.
the one of the first feature-length musical scores was written specifically for a U.S. talkie film was Max Steiner's score for RKO's King Kong. It was the first major Hollywood film to have a thematic score rather than background music, recorded using a 46-piece orchestra. After the score was completed, all the film's sounds were recorded onto 3 separate tracks, one each for sound effects, dialogue, and music. For the first time in film history, RKO's sound department head, Murray Spivak, made a groundbreaking sound design decision. He pitched the effects to match the score so they wouldn't be overwhelming and so they would complement each other.
Mm,
Revolutionary.
in
Get
many
Yeah.
ways.
get that sound mixing going.
Hmm.
There we go. More on that
Mm.
later. The backstage drama musical 42nd Street, choreographed by Busby Berkeley, revitalized the overexposed musical and saved Warner's from bankruptcy. The film established Berkeley as the most talented choreographer of musical production numbers. Damn, how many of these studios were on the brink of bankruptcy?
Yeah.
Goddamn Great Depression.
So I had to look up the Mare Spivak guy because I was like, that sounds vaguely like European. So he was born in Russia, fine.
Mm.
But listen to the movies he was involved with, like a sound guy. Hello Dolly, Tora Tora Tora, West Side Story, King Kong, obviously, Doctor Dolittle, Spartacus. Like this dude, My Fair Lady, this dude, Sound of Music,
Yeah.
he had a career. The original Sleeping Beauty, like wow, one of the
That's a
giants in the sound and of that era.
that's a good resume.
That's
Hmm.
pretty awesome. Two other Busby Berkeley made at the same time, Gold Diggers of 1933 and Footlight
Hmm.
Parade, launched dance and musical extravaganza with creative camera angles and innovative staging. From 1933 to 1937, Berkeley created musical numbers for almost every great musical produced by Warner Brothers.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It was the beginning of an era.
Yep.
So I'm gonna apologize to Luke because if I get
Uh-oh.
this name wrong, Czech filmmaker Gustav Makady, notorious romantic drama Ecstasy, told about one sexually frustrated child bride, a 19-year-old Hedvig Kiesler, soon to be known as Hedy Lamarr,
Oh,
and
what?
her impotent elderly husband. It was censored for a nude bathing suit. Oh, sorry, nude bathing swim, a naked forest romp, and a love-making scene with sexual intercourse that depicted the first female orgasm stimulated from oral sex,
Jesus.
albeit off screen. It was the
What?
first theatrically released film, non-pornographic, in which the sex act was depicted, although off screen, and the first to depict a female orgasm, highly unusual for its time.
Wait,
Oh,
Still
there's his
highly
Nando's too, isn't
unusual
it?
for this time, the female
how
orgasm.
I've never even heard of. Yeah, so this is a Czechoslovakian movie called Ecstasy. I never heard of
Yeah,
this.
I'm just looking it
It's
up now.
so the guy name is Gustav Machati. Uh, this is František Horky. Yeah, so writers František Horky, Robert Horky. Oh, there must be brothers, I guess. Okay, cool. Oh, it's based on a book. Oh, wait. One wrote the book, the other wrote a screenplay.
Hmm.
Interesting. I've
The
never even
film,
heard of this movie.
though, there you go. The film
I
was
need to.
credited in part for inspiring the Hays Code, even as the U.S.
Yeah.
Customs Department destroyed the movie, making it one of the first films blocked for censorship, even until only recently versions were revised with the nudity removed.
Huh.
Mm,
Give us the nude cut.
Free to
hmm.
Springfield too.
Restore the
Also,
nude cut.
yes. Also, Hedy Lamarr. You guys probably know. She's
Yeah.
obviously a famous actor.
It's
It's
Headley.
Heady.
Oh, Hedy. What did I
No,
say?
it's Headley.
Well,
Oh
no,
no,
I
No,
was
no,
making a joke
it's
from Blazing Saddles.
Blazing
ah
Saddles, yeah. It's Headley.
Eddie Lamar. It's Headley.
I see, I see. Do you also know? She is a big part why we even communicate today.
Yeah, didn't
Do you
she do
know
have
her
something
other
to do with the phone?
contribution? Do you know? So her basis of like she was actually like scientist also on the side,
Mm,
and her groundwork, basically her invention is used today for modern Wi-Fi's, Bluetooth, and even top secret military defense satellites. So
mm.
she put together like this kind of in the
Skynet?
40s, I believe. Sorry.
Skynet?
Yeah.
Defense
So
satellite.
Skynet, yeah. No, so she put together like some sort of a communication protocol, which is now on her. Everybody else built on like and now because of that we have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all these
Mm.
technologies. So because of this actress who was scientist on a side, yeah, a lot of modern technology now is able to communicate with each other.
Luke, thank you so much for that information. But the biggest thing I learned was that I don't think you've seen Blazing Saddles, which upsets me more.
No, I have. I just seen it only once.
Ah, okay, right. Okay.
I'm
Well, there
thinking
you go.
I'll have to select it for a Wasteland retrospective, so I have to rewatch it.
Mm, yes.
Hmm.
Or wait
The
until
sheriff is near.
2027 when
Ooh.
I highlight
Sounds.
Mel Brooks on the Wasteland retrospect. I on the
Ooh.
Welcome to the Wasteland
That's a scoop.
Mm.
scoop.
Scoop.
So, but yeah, you have to wait until 2027 because Hitchcock all day, every day until
Yes.
next October.
Oh,
The
wow.
pseudo educational pre-code amateurish exploitation film. My God, how many more descriptors can you get? Hyphen, 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 column, comma, comma, comma. Um, Alicia, Valley of the Nudes. Woo, we're on a theme here. By
No,
producer Brian
33 was
Foy,
raunchy.
about 25 minutes in length, was shot at the largest nudist camp in California, 10 miles from Lake Elsinore at an elevation of about 2,000 feet. It was one of the earliest, if not the first, authentic film made at an American nudist colony. According to news reports at the time, producer Foy was forced to get an injunction against Los Angeles police to restrain them from interfering with the exhibition due to its sensationalist subject matter.
So what was in the water in 1933? This has been one,
Oh,
horny fucking year.
post-depression
So horny.
blues.
Well, and at 2,000 feet, I'm assuming it's a little chillier up there.
I was in a pool.
Yeah.
I was in a pool.
A lot of stuff to, you know, point out
Yes.
um in a situation like that. Um Jean Vigo, or Jean Vigo directed the influential social commentary film Zero for Conda, about a full-scale rebellion in a French boys' boarding school against tyrannical authority, a film that was banned by censors until the late 1940s. The film closely resembled Lindsay Anderson's If from 1968. So I'm guessing it's actually Jean Vigo.
Oh, to his
So
soldiers.
because French. The Pain Fun Study, Our movie made children argued that films shaped children's behavior.
Oh my god.
Wow, that shit was going on all the way back in 1933.
Hmm.
Yes.
I was raised by the movies. Um, Katharine Hepburn was awarded her first Academy Award for Morning Glory, her third film. It helped to launch the actress's successful career and provided her with the first of 4 Best Actress Oscars. It was the film's sole nomination.
Imagine
Katharine
having to
Hepburn.
launch your career with
Mm.
winning an Oscar. Another Hepburn also launched her career by winning an Oscar in her first film.
There you
That's
go.
interesting. Oh no, this wasn't Catherine's first film, I don't
Mm-hmm.
imagine.
No, it
But
said third
Third.
film, I think it said.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
That's still impressive, though. Very
yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
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 Best Picture winner, Cavalcade, was the first top Oscar winner to feature a curse word, damn,
Mm.
spoken by actor Clive Brook. Damn.
Well, damn. Damn indeed.
Interesting.
Well, damn. Theaters began to open refreshment stands.
Oh,
Ooh.
let's all go to the
The
lobby.
lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and go pay $15 for a bucket of popcorn.
Yep.
Oh my. The pre-code detective mystery comedy The Crooked Circle became the first film. Well, wait a minute. They're duplicating things. They were trying to see if I wouldn't notice. Actually, is there anything else they
I'm
added
glad
in?
you noticed because I might not have. Oh, it has been
Would have
nodding
been
along
Luke would have
again.
been like, didn't we just cover this earlier this episode?
It's me. I'm sorry. I cannot
No,
help
no,
myself.
you're the no, mate. We need someone alert. It's not going to be me.
So I guess the one thing that they added into this blurb is that it literally had 6 viewers. Because that's how limited the amount of people who had
Damn.
televisions. The
Yeah,
Screen
wow.
Actors Guild was established in
Ooh.
Hollywood, not to be mistaken with the Film Actors Guild, a self-governing
Hmm.
organization of film actors to protect the rights of film and TV performers. 21 actors became the guild's first officers and board of directors, with Ralph Morgan as president. Its motto was, he he best serves himself who serves others. Well, screw you, women.
I was gonna. What? He best so him. Okay.
Remember,
Okay.
only he's deserve coverage here in the Screen Actors
Hmm.
Guild.
It's a
Yes, he.
noble philosophy though. Like you only help yourself truly if you help others. I think that's pretty noble. Just, that is, there was pronouns weren't a thing. No one cared about pronouns.
Bro, we still
92
do
years
we
ago.
we
I'm like,
still do. They will
Well,
outlaw pronouns. No pronouns. I don't have pronouns. There you go.
nobody does nowadays.
we're just going
Nobody
to be
has
called the
pronouns
dude.
now.
The dude.
So this actually hits a little close to home. This is interesting. The first drive-in movie theater was opened
Mm.
June 6th, 1933 on Crescent Boulevard at the Camden Drive-In in Pennsauken, New Jersey, with
Wow.
the showing of the second run film Wives Beware, starring Adolphe Menjou. It was known simply as drive-in theater or park-in theater with a capacity of 400 cars, although the actual name was the Automobile Movie Theater. Admissions was 25 cents for each car and an additional 25 cents for each person. Drive-ins were in their heyday in the late 50s and mid 60s, with about 5,000 theaters across the country. This is like 20 minutes from my house.
I was going to ask
That's
how if
cool.
it's close. Yeah.
Have you been? Have you ever been?
Well, it's not there anymore.
But at least you can
Imagine
see
if
the
it was.
place. You can see the place at least.
I'm assuming it's just a lot, or they probably built over it, to be frank.
Yeah.
But there is still one classic drive-in in southern New Jersey, the Delsey Drive-In. I went there a
Hmm.
bunch of times during COVID.
Nice.
I've got one 10 minutes up the road from me. It's the last one, probably one of only 2 in the country. It has 3 screens.
Very
It's
nice.
fucking shit experience. So it sucks.
I saw Tenant at a drive-in. just
Mm.
how Christopher Nolan intended.
I was gonna say yes, just how. Yeah.
I
The
saw what
films
was
of
sorry.
the films of Bowdy and Buxom Mae West, such as She Done Him Wrong and I'm No Angel, raised criticisms of various groups over her racy, double entendre laden dialogue and her costumes, and hastened the move towards greater censorship the following year. The other sex goddess, known as the original blonde bombshell, the sensual Jean Harlow, also caused Hollywood to raise its eyebrows, and not
Ooh.
just its eyebrows. Especially after her appearance in Howard Hughes's Hell's Angels, Platinum Blonde, The Public Enemy, Red Dust, Red Haired Woman, and Dinner at Eight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm certainly the
Pantaloons
two
being
of
raised, is
them.
that what you're implying?
I am sure that a bunch of uh something or others were raised to attention watching Mae West and Jean Harlow in theaters. So there you
Mm.
go.
Pitching tents in the cinema, as you do.
I heard that's bad luck, but Deluge was the
From
first
where I come
end
from.
of the world big budget disaster science fiction film from RKO in the sound era, featuring revolutionary visual effects to depict and simulate turbulent tidal waves hitting New York City. That's pretty cool. And lastly, Warner's producer Leon Schlesinger assembled the gods of animation, including Tex Avery, Chuck Jones, Friz Freeling, and Bob Clampett. Bring on the Looney Tunes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. And there's all your film history. It was horny for sure.
Very
Um,
Yes. Horny and animated.
Horny and basically the two themes of 1933: horny, animated, and throw in a third one: big giant apes.
Mm-hmm.
Which, getting to our box office numbers, so the top three grossing films of that year grossed a combined $13.6 million.
Wow.
And of that was just King Kong.
Of course.
Really?
The biggest of
Okay.
them all.
She Done Him Wrong made 2.2 million and 42nd Street made 1.438 million. But no, King Kong was a massive hit, breaking
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
box office records.
I believe it would have been.
So there is some brief box office numbers, but really the be all end all of 1933 was King Kong. And I'm assuming that, well, I don't know if it was the highest grossing film of all time up until Gone with the Wind, but I
It
guess
must have been.
Mm.
It must have been. Like 10
Interesting to
million at
and
the
that's
see.
only a
time.
couple years after this, so
Yeah.
we'll
Exactly.
have to see.
But the thing is, like, like if I remember correctly, most grossing movies would be like 1 point something million or maybe
Yeah.
2 million, and King Kong 10.
Mm.
So like until
Yeah.
And
Gone with the
Yeah.
Wind, it must have been the highest grossing movie. Hmm.
and then that
The big
stood for a
difference.
long time until I think Sound of Music finally broke the record.
Mm.
The Hills
Mm.
Are Alive with the Sound of Music.
Mm.
We'll get
Mm.
there eventually in a couple years. Um, Going to the Academy Awards. So going through here, we have for Best Actor, we have Paul Mooney nominated for I Am a Fugitive for I'm a Teenage
Teenage
Fugitive
Fugitive.
from
I was
Yes.
hoping you'd
Escaping.
say it.
Yeah, say it properly, okay? Say the
We
proper
have
title.
we have Leslie Howard for Berkeley Square, but the winner was Charles Lawton for The Private Life of
Mm.
Henry VIII.
God, I
Hmm.
love
So
Charles Lawton. I love
yep,
him. Ah,
we
so good.
obviously talked about Paul Mooney on this show last month, but have either of you seen Berkeley Square or The Private Life of Henry VIII?
Nope.
No, but no, being that Charles Lawton won his Oscar, well, won an Oscar for it, it's high on my list. Yeah, I love that
You
guy.
just made the
Mm.
list. So there you go. We got Best Actress, which we already gave that away earlier, but nominated Diane Wynyard for Cavalcade, May Robeson for Lady for a Day, but winner Catherine Hepburn for Morning Glory.
Mhm.
Not seen those either.
I have not seen not and any of the three of those. Um, Directing George Cukor for Little Women, which I did find out recently, it's a Q sound and not a um
Yeah, it's
sound.
interesting. I always called him Kuko, George Kuko, but Kuka is better.
I thought it was George Cucker. But that sounds even worse.
Yeah, it does. Uh-huh.
So Frank Capra for Lady for a Day, but both these legendary directors lost. Frank Lloyd for Cavalcade.
Mm.
I don't know who Frank
Hmm.
Lloyd is, but I do know who Frank Capra and George Cukor are.
Yes.
Writing adaptation, Paul Green and Sonia Levine for State Fair, Robert Riskin for Lady for a Day, but our winners Victor Kierman and Sarah Y. Mason for Little Women.
Mm.
Little Women getting some love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we have writing original story. Um, Wait a minute. I think I forgot to put. Oh, I messed up there. Charles MacArthur for Rasputin and the Empress. See, I flipped them. It's supposed to
Ah.
be. It's supposed to be the person first in non-italicized, comma the movie italicized, and I flipped them. And I'm like, Rasputin and the Empress wrote Charles MacArthur. Um,
Then who
uh,
would have known? Like Rasputin
Was
was
he with a
so
woman?
yeah, a multifaceted person.
There you go.
Maybe.
Francis Marion wrote The Prize Fighter and the Lady, but winner Robert Lord for One Way Passage.
Mm.
And back when they had a crap ton of Best Picture nominees before they went down to five, and now we're back to a crap ton of Best Picture
Yeah.
nominees. We have
700.
nominees are State Fair, Smilin' Through, She Done Him Wrong, The Private Life of Henry VIII, Little Women, Lady for a Day, I Am a Teenage Fugitive from a Chain Gang, 42nd Street, A Farewell to Arms, and winner, Cavalcade.
Mm. Mm.
So, Cavalcade is one of the Best Picture winners I have not watched, but it's on my list.
Hmm.
But most importantly, we are here to give the Cinematic Wasteland Award for Best Picture from 1933. And in a surprising twist, all of us have different ones. So we got a three-way
Hmm.
tie.
Again.
Adam picked King Kong, the film that we're about to discuss. Luke picked The Invisible Man.
Yes.
And I picked Duck Soup. So
Hmm.
honestly, probably the three most famous movies, lasting legacies out of all of the movies that came out in this
Hmm.
year. But none of them were nominated for Best Picture.
Nope. But
Right.
you know what always gets me? There is a direct link between this old Hollywood and the new Hollywood we live in today. Because Gloria Stewart was in The
Hmm.
Invisible Man, and she's the old lady in Titanic. So
Yeah.
literally, Leo, Kate Winslet, and everybody who was, and James Cameron, involved in Titanic have a direct link to the old Hollywood. I
One
was
Hmm.
like,
degree of
this is.
separation.
And she lived to be 100. She literally
Yeah.
died when she was 100 years old. I was like, good for you,
Hmm.
old lady from Titanic. Good for you.
There you go. Good for that lady.
Yes.
But we are here indeed to discuss King Kong. This is from directors Marion C. Cooper, uncredited, both of these say uncredited, and Ernest B. Sack. And this film stars Fay Ray, Robert Armstrong, Bruce Cabot, Frank Riker, and a giant stop motion animated gorilla. A film
Mhm.
crew goes to a tropical island for a location shoot where they capture a colossal ape who takes a shine to their blonde starlet and bring him back to New York City. That's the whole damn plot.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
not a
Mm-hmm.
synopsis. um, and I just want to read all the categories that King Kong has on IMDb because I'm amused. Adventure epic, dinosaur adventure, jungle adventure, monster horror, urban adventure, adventure, and horror. The
Mm.
dinosaur adventure one got me, which is why I wanted to read them out loud. I'm like,
I mean,
specifically dinosaur adventure.
apparently they are there, yeah.
But Luke, what are your general thoughts on King Kong?
So I really, really like this movie. Like it's hard to, watch this and not see how much it influenced, the other movies.
Mhm.
Not just like, of that era, but moving forward. It's hard to not see the man versus nature theme going through it and how, you know, Jurassic Park and all these other
Mhm.
movies have taken from that element. And even for that day, obviously now it looks a bit funny, but for that day, the special effects were blended quite seamlessly. So yeah, I really appreciated it.
How about you, Adam?
Yeah, like I didn't look into any history in this, like box office or whatnot, before you were just talking about them. So a lot of my notes are kind of around the fact that not knowing anything, I was like, this really feels like their first swing
Hmm.
at trying to make a blockbuster
Hmm.
film, because it's
Mhm.
so ambitious and grand in scale. The
Yep.
way it's shot, it's you can see there's so much attention to detail, and they've eked everything they can out of the technology they had at the time to make this film. And it's obviously it doesn't hold up by modern standards when you look at special effects or even stop motion. But
How
god
dare
damn,
you?
this movie. But it's just so great. It's so great to watch for the fact that you know what went into making this movie. It's so there's so much love involved in it, and it's still a great story. Like this story and everything behind it's really well performed. Um, I don't know. It's really something special. Yeah, I really loved it, and I probably have underrated it a little bit in my review. Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, even this after I watched it this morning, and even through the day, I'm thinking it's probably a bit better than I first thought.
What about you,
Yeah,
Shane?
this is
Yes, I should have said
an
that.
incredibly well-paced movie. Like this is a nice
Mm, mm,
100 minutes, but it
yeah.
flies. And
Mm,
I think the most important thing is the whole first act moves well, honestly.
Yep.
hmm
Fast talking, it sets up. We're at the harbor, we're on the ship. We got a little bit of romance. And
hmm
Fay Ray is very charismatic.
I
mm.
love how
And
she's there by accident. Like, like
Yeah,
nobody wants a woman with their crew. Like,
yeah, yeah,
do we need to have her? Oh yeah,
yeah.
audiences nowadays love women, so like, we need to have the dame. And so he basically like picks her off the street.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
You I
get
need a you
on
need a job.
here.
Hey, you look
And
good enough. Have you acted before? Kinda. All right, you in.
we got you.
Yeah.
I really liked Robert Armstrong as Carl Denham. I
Hmm.
think
Mm.
he had that vibe really well in terms of like this like modern day carnival barker type of
Hmm.
we're gonna put on a show. Um and you know, you have all this set up and then just the incredible production design.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like the
Mm.
whole setup with the giant wall
Yeah, on the
Hmm.
island.
Yeah.
and like the like this sacrificial like you know temple type of
Hmm.
setup for this village. And it was funny because my wife immediately made a bunch of comments like, oh, they're actual people of color.
I was thinking
Mm.
that I was so
Yeah.
happy that
Yeah,
we didn't see 20 dudes like wearing a black makeup. I was like, oh, good. That's good.
Yeah.
And then like they say something like, oh, the crazy black people after. I was like, oh, we're back in the 30s.
well, and it's obviously pretty stereotypical in terms of its representation of the indigenous people on this island. Like
Mm.
it's elaborate and interesting how they present this culture, and it really sets the vibe. And you have this buildup of like, I there's so many movies I would love to go and watch again and have no idea what the movie's about at
Yep.
all.
Yeah.
Because can
Mm,
you imagine? Picture it. You show up to this movie blind. You don't know what it's called.
hmm
You know nothing.
hmm
And we're on this island and we see this giant wall and it's just like, what's behind this wall? Why do
Hmm.
they need such a wall?
Hmm.
And then the moment they reveal Kong and you're just like,
Yeah, yeah,
it, out of context of knowing what this film is, that tension of building up that sequence is incredible.
yeah, yeah,
And the
absolutely.
reveal, it's just like, holy crap.
Yep.
And that's why
Making
it
it
made all the money.
1933.
And that's why it made all
Yeah,
the money in 1933 because literally this is
yep,
what movies were born to do. It was to
yes.
showcase what's not possible, what is not, what doesn't exist, and that movie captures it so fucking
Mm.
well.
And push the envelope of technology
Yeah.
as well. Like, it really drove. It really drove. I mean, this is such an influential film. I mean, watching this, you know that Spielberg just lifted so much for Jurassic Park in this
Hmm. Hmm.
massively.
Absolutely. All the dinosaurs too.
Hmm.
Well,
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
you have films like I know that movie Abigail that came out last year. Can you
Mm.
imagine if you didn't know going in this is the vampire ballerina movie? And
Yeah,
all of a sudden it's just like, she's a vampire?
yeah, yeah,
And I just want to watch certain movies and not know what they're actually about because this film does such a great job of setting up like they're just making a movie.
Yep.
They're just making a movie. We got the romance. It's a
Mm.
romantic movie about movies. And then it turns into a romantic movie about a giant ape and his
Yeah.
little girl toy. And it's just like, holy crap.
It
And then,
turns.
yeah, and the incredible special effects, the well, one, Kong, and all these dinosaurs. The
Hmm.
action in this movie is incredible. It's
Mm.
thrilling,
Mm.
it's incredibly well
Yep.
shot. Use like even like that giant I did laugh a little when they have the giant log and
Oh
he's
yeah,
like
yeah.
knocking them down and
Yeah.
the dummies falling to their deaths and you're just like, "Oh my God." And like all the practical effects, it's brutal. Like this movie doesn't
Mm.
pull punches. And obviously Peter Jackson went all out with all the CGI special effects in
Mm.
2005 with his
Mhm.
version of this and like didn't Kong like bite one of the T-Rex's tongues off or something like crazy like that at one point in Peter
Yeah,
Jackson? Because like he's having
I think
like a
so.
3v1 fight with three T-Rex at
I
the
remember
same
it.
Mm.
time.
Yes, I remember that, but it's only been pretty much since 2006 I've seen that movie. I
Mhm.
really liked it, but I only remember the three T-Rex versus one King Kong fight. I don't remember
Mm.
any tight,
Ding ding.
yeah. Hmm.
I remember
But I
from one
remember,
of the more modern Kong movies, and this one, the similarity where Kong rips the jaw
yeah.
off one of the dinosaurs. Like, I know,
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of original and like shocking when I saw that in one of the later Kong movies. But to see
That
it
was
in
Skull
this one,
Island, right?
yeah,
Probably.
I
I
think
think
so.
so. Yeah, yeah. They blend together after when there's so many of them. So I don't know what bits from what movie, but to see it in this one. And like you said, they could have really cheaped out and made these stop motion sequences so much shorter, but they
Mm.
actually make the fight go on like a kind of well, as authentic as a fight between a giant gorilla and a dinosaur could be. Like they go on and like the actions are like it's really well thought out and it's not cheaped out.
Yes.
Like it's a lot of passion has gone in behind the scenes. It's
Like you can
amazing.
tell it was made by somebody who wanted to showcase, hey, this is what we can do right this very
Mm,
moment. This
mm.
also, I don't want to bury the lead here. Is this one of the first like a major movies? This must be the very first major movie about making a movie. Like I was like, oh yeah, like we actually
Yeah.
see her
Mm,
filming, being like now how he's directing her on a ship. Now you're seeing something but he don't want he cannot scream because it's so terrifying. And I'm like,
yeah, it
this
might have
must be
been.
one of them like the if not the first one, one of the first major successful movie about actually making a movie.
It
Yeah,
certainly
it might have
is
been.
because like that especially that's what you think it is. The first act
Hmm.
of the movie is like this is just about them
Yes.
making a movie
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Mm.
secret locale. But as a professional wrestling fan who loves big meaty
Yes.
men slapping meat pro wrestling matches where it's just super heavyweights, like two of the biggest dudes just beating the crap out of each other, watching a giant gorilla fight dinosaurs is like the coolest thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to
And
ask you because some of those moves, I'm like, Shane will know what some of these moves are called. Oh,
like this is
Professor
pro
Shane.
wrestling. Pro
yeah.
wrestling. Um, and then you have like that scene up on the cliff with the pterodactyl and everything too. And
Mm,
just like you have all of this is incredible. They don't have as much of Kong and her as you might think. But
Yeah.
you know, you have that connection because like it moves pretty well getting past that point. And then the whole entire like third act of like we go back to New York City, they're doing their show.
mm,
And the second they start taking those pictures with the flash photography, I'm like,
yeah. Mm,
you
Yep.
mm,
done messed up. Shouldn't have
hmm
done that, guy. And then it goes all crazy hell from there. Um, and the whole entire sequence on top of the Empire State Building is amazing with all these
Yeah,
planes
it's
and
epic.
him up there.
Mm.
It is epic. This is
Even the
shocking.
way he falls off, the
Oh
way he
yeah.
falls off is even like he hits his head on the building on the way down, and it's like they didn't have to do that with this movie the way that, but that attention to detail is what really, I don't know, it struck me,
Like
obviously.
yeah, what surprised me was how brutal the movie can be within obviously limits. You will not see anything, by
Yeah.
today's standards, obviously it's tame. But by
Yeah.
those, like like
Hmm.
you don't
Mm.
think movies from like 30s would be as brutal for a time. And yeah, like he kills like
Yeah.
there's like
Yeah.
a body count of like 40 people, as you mentioned, Adam. Like when he falls down, like he sees his own blood and like you feel bad for Kong. So
Mhm.
Mm.
it is kind of like they
Yeah.
don't pull any punch, as as Shane put it. They didn't pull any punches, and really appreciate that.
Yeah.
It, it's one of those things where like they're really building up like his death too.
Mm-hmm.
Because like
Yeah.
he's like slowly getting shot and everything and like clutching onto the building and they're really building up that
Mm.
tension.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a miraculous achievement, this movie. And it
Yeah.
has that little bit of romance. The human characters are interesting enough.
Yeah.
Like we
Hmm.
care about them and we see Carl Denham
Yeah.
being like, this guy's kind of a sketchy dude. And
Mm.
I always thought that was a very interesting casting of Jack Black for him in the '05 King
But you
Kong
can
was
all
It is strange.
you can see it so much how like he basically watched this version
yeah.
of the movie
Mm.
because
Mm.
like again I only watched the Peter Jackson King Kong once and I still remember
Hmm.
Jack Black's voice and his mannerisms and I was like, oh, what a weird choice. And now watching this movie I'm
Mm.
like, Jack Black, you didn't have to steal everything. Like you could have made it a bit more of your own. Like I understand paying homage, but dude,
This one made me realize that Jack Black was not good casting, but Naomi Watts was absolutely perfect casting in Fay Ray's
yes,
role. Like that was a
Nami,
beautiful marriage. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, I love Naomi too. She's the
same.
best.
Hmm.
Mm.
One of the most underappreciated actors for sure
100%.
working.
Yeah.
It always shocks me she's not an Oscar winner, by the way. Not to skew this
Mm.
debate any further, but I always thought she won for 21 grams. She should have won for
Mm.
Mulholland Drive, but okay.
Hmm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It's a this and like Faye Ray, what she does in this film is like she's extremely charismatic and she
Yep.
grabs your
Yeah.
attention. And we can see why Big Kong's like me like pretty blonde lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um and like you have that like obviously they play that up a lot
Hmm.
in the
Yeah.
'05 one and spend a ton of
Yes.
time on that.
Hmm.
This one it's brief, but it's long enough where we see it.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then it makes it all that much more tragic when the finale happens and you this giant majestic creature is just brutally killed and just
He's
falls
attacked.
yeah falls
He,
unceremoniously to its death and you're just
he's
like
never not. Yeah. It's he's never not being attacked, and he's. I kind of sympathize with him like you sympathize with Frankenstein's monster because it's the same character. Like he's
Hmm.
misunderstood because he's such a big beast and not understood or misunderstood. Everywhere he goes, someone wants to attack him, and everything he does is kind of just in defense of himself. Because even in he gets attacked by the T-Rex. He gets attacked by a snake, then he gets attacked by a pterodactyl, then he gets attacked by the people shooting arrows into him, and then he gets dragged, and then it's just always he's always under the pump. So
Yeah.
he's always
Yeah.
in fight or flight mode, right? So
Hmm.
just like Frankenstein. And I think that's maybe why you're supposed to feel empathetic towards him as well. And you do. I think well, I did.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
It's like it gets well, and I feel this way very much about any kind of wild animal that's illegally domesticated because people
yeah.
are freaking idiots.
Mm.
Like I almost witnessed two teenage girls getting mauled by a bear in North Carolina
Jesus.
because it was a mother bear with three cubs on the side of the
Yeah.
road and they pulled up in a Jeep. It's like,
Mm.
look at the bear. And it's like they would shoot that bear because these dumb
Yeah.
shits
Hmm.
Yeah.
are doing dumb shit stuff. And that's what people do. Dumb shit.
That's how Harambe died, right? Going full circle.
I was gonna say, let's bring it back to
Justice
full circle.
for Harambe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can't believe he got two
Our
mentions.
modern Kong story for sure.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Except it
And
wasn't the beauty who killed the beast that time. It was a baby who fell
Yes.
down the fucking.
Yes. 'Twas
uh,
beauty that killed the beast.
Yes,
it were.
it were.
It were so simple. But do either of you have anything else to add about King Kong?
Um, one thing when he said when they were walking into the auditorium with at the in the third act, he goes, "Better be good. These cost me $20. I went to the inflation calculator. $20 tickets,
Oh,
500. You did too? Yeah,
yeah.
$500. No, that's why he was looking at his woman. You better know what's going on after this. I spent a fortune on these tickets. Because yeah, $500
I
is
did
that's a lot of
also
money.
immediately pull up the inflation calculator to
Yeah.
figure out how much
Yeah.
$20 sounds like a lot for
Mhm.
1932.
Yeah.
And this
Absolutely.
movie, just in its opening, obviously we mentioned that it earned like $10 million, right? Just in its
Mm.
opening weekend, it did 90,000, or like a day, 90,000. That's how
Mm.
big of a deal that movie
When it
was.
was probably a dime to get in,
Yeah,
right? Probably 10
yeah,
cents to go to a movie then.
yeah.
That's
So
like, yeah.
imagine how many people have seen it just the opening
Yeah.
weekend alone. Like it's fucking
This is
insane.
why at the end of the day, the best way to actually compare box office numbers
Hmm.
Inflation,
is
yeah.
ticket sales, number of
Yeah.
tickets.
Yes,
Yeah. Do they
but
do that?
No,
Mm.
not really.
I would
Okay.
imagine studios would still have like some actual ticket sales, but I don't think they are publicly released, right?
No, probably not.
Like I would imagine the studio, like if you like invest in a movie, being
Mm.
getting on a tangent a bit, but like like if your movie makes 50 million, let's say,
Mm.
you don't just see the money or you don't just see the number. You also see, okay, we're paying you this much because we sold this many tickets. Because again,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
movie makes 50 million, half of it goes to the cinema.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I would
Yeah.
imagine there must be some like detailed accounting for, okay, we're sending you this much and this much for this many tickets to do. So I'm guessing studios definitely know. They just don't release it.
Well,
But
it's
yes,
not as headline grabbing as saying this movie made $100 million. We sold 20,000
Yeah.
tickets. Like
yes,
people don't give a shit
Well,
about
it's
that, right?
important to realize that the average ticket price in the United States is $10 ish. So you could just move it over one decimal point and
hmm,
there's some math
Yeah.
for you. At least
that's how
with
math
the
works. Shit.
I should know, I do teach it.
Well,
Um,
you just taught me something.
there you go. There you go.
But
Well,
oh, sorry.
no, go ahead, Luke.
I was gonna say like my final thoughts would be just again, if you watch this movie, it's you still will be in awe by how many things this movie does so well. Not just for the
Mm.
time. It just it's
Mm.
just a well-made movie, period. And yeah, I need to watch the 70 what six one because that's the only one I
It's
haven't
good.
seen.
They're all
Okay,
good.
okay,
Yeah, I like every one of them.
okay.
There you go. It is Kong. It has a
It
little bit of
is.
everything. It has adventure, romance, horror, big hairy men dying for their ladies. What else could you ask for? For a big
Yes.
Hollywood picture But
Mm.
that is a wrap here on another episode of the Cinematic Wasteland. Next month for 1934, we'll be talking about The Thin Man. So looking forward to that. But Luke and Adam, thank you as always for coming on and chatting movies with me.
Always a blast.
Love,
Thank you so much.
yes. Ditto. Love it. Looking forward to next month.
And thank all of you for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and share on this episode. What is your favorite big monster kaiju movie? Make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. The SPN and Crew Podcasting Network is ever expanding. We have so many great shows with all different types of interests. All three of us have our shows that you should go check out. And if you're ready for quite the odyssey of sometimes a 3.5 hour discussion with people, you always check out Flicks and Chill with Luke. And whether it's physical media or some horror, head out to Adam.
Yeah.
And I have like 5 podcasts on here. So there you go. All about movies. We movie all day, every day. And if you want to join the crew, whether you be a guest on one of our shows or make your own podcast because you have your own idea to explore, please reach out to us on our website. And if you like our logo, check out my buddy Joe. He did some good work here making this logo. And most importantly, thank you as always for tuning in and supporting the Cinematic Wasteland here on the SPM Crew Podcasting Network.